about narcissism and narcissistic behavior. We're just gonna try to we're gonna help our way out of this, y'all. We're gonna help each other find a good space for each other, and so we can keep building on being happy and be better people as men, as ladies, as everybody, because we need to identify what's going on with these narcissists so we can get out of these relationships and get out of these situations where we're with them, and we can go ahead and move on with our life and take care of our families and do the things that we need to do. That's what I'm here for. That's what my show is about. Tonight I want to talk about the clinical, kind of like the definitions of narcissism behavior. I had a lot of feeds and a lot of feedback this week on a few of my videos. So basically, people were just commenting that this is a clinical thing with the narcissist. So I saw that addressed a couple of times, and I answered those questions a few times on a couple of platforms. But to me, the reason why I wanted to do a full video on it, because I kind of wanted to just, kind of squash this thing a little bit about it being clinical. Of course, we can say it's clinical. Any person in their right mind can be like, all right, E, these people not demons, man, it's clinical. Okay, cool. All right. Let's just take that off the table, because people who deal with narcissists aren't that dumb. We know that, because that's the reason why we've been in a relationship with them for so long, because we think that it's clinical. We think that something is wrong with these people that can be healed, or we think it's something that, we know something's wrong with them. Like, we know something's wrong with them. We don't know what, but we know something wrong with them. So as far as saying it's clinical and stuff like that, like, I get it. Of course it's clinical. But it's obviously a little bit more going on with people who has been diagnosed, or people who hasn't been diagnosed with NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, period. Now, so when people say clinical, they want to compare narcissism with disorders, like basic disorders that people can go and get treatment for. So we're talking about disorders like, eating disorders, being some type of an addict, alcohol or drugs, or they have anxiety disorder and stuff like that. Things where people can just go in and they can, have a little bit of therapy and they're okay. So that's our basic level of clinical things. So I don't know why anybody would relate a narcissist to this type of behavior. So then, okay, cool. So I dig in a little further, and so we got another level. So, all right, so we got another level of disorders that we can deal with. So we're going to, like, our major ones. So we deal with, bipolar disorder, autism, schizophrenia, any type of depression, major depression and stuff like that. So with these type of disorders, a person could go get diagnosed and he can get therapy, and and you can kind of get on track, and you can have a good productive life with these type of disorders. This stuff is known. If someone has schizophrenia or someone is bipolar, they're going to go to the doctor, or they're going to go to the psychiatrist. They're going to get diagnosed, and that doctor's going to set them up some type of therapy plan. And if they're too far gone, they'll put, they'll add some meds to it. Now, what I do know about this disorder is that if someone has, these type of mental disorders, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, these are things that can be, dealt with because of who the people are. These are people that what's wrong with them. These are people that they need to be on some meds, or they need to be, in therapy. Like, we know this about them, and they know this about themselves. The part that makes it different to me, E. Dixon's philosophy, is that these people, they have some sort of empathy. They have some type of interconnection. Just something's wrong with them, and they can go in and get taken care of for that. Okay, just to play fair, the narcissist could do that also. They can go get help and maybe get on meds and get on therapy and things like that, and maybe they can have a productive, good life with someone. Okay, great. Let's give it that. Let's give it a big applause that can happen. But the thing with these narcissists is their ego is so outrageous and they operate on such a low vibration that they would never ever do this unless, you know, some type of reason where they can fake through it or something like that. But they're never going to concede enough to the person that they're in a relationship with to go get therapy. That's not going to happen with these people. Now, I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, you know, across the board. I think we do have a few narcissists out there that probably can fake through a therapy session to lie and cheat and steal and do the things that they do. So cool. That's just my philosophy on it. Now, the thing about narcissists to me, and as far as them getting help, as far as getting on meds or getting therapy, the thing about that gives me you know, a red flag is that it's the way that the doctors describe narcissists. It's not my term. It's not these. This is just my philosophy on narcissistic behavior. But the doctors themselves give these particular terms out about narcissists that I want to talk about today, and then, you know, we can talk about it and we can figure it out. If people want to leave comments below, and we can talk about it. But let's talk about it. But these are the things that make it not clinical to me when we're dealing with a narcissist. Now, the first thing about it is the terms that doctors use across the board about narcissists. And if there are other terms that people use about other disorders, I mean, I don't know if someone's schizophrenic or if someone has some type of, you know, they have their bipolar disorder, they have bipolar and stuff like that. You know, if the doctors themselves use different words to describe them, you know, somebody can leave comments and let me know that. But for one thing for sure, I know there's 3 or 4 different words that doctors use about narcissists that, you know, that I want to talk about today. And the biggest thing about narcissists and people who even dealing in this world, I think they are they have a demonic spirit about them. That's what I do think. And it's more than just some clinical stuff that you can just go in and get therapy about. Even the doctors know that. And this is the thing about demonic behavior, is that, to me, is that it hides in clear sight. Everything about it is right there in front of us. So until we open up our eyes and deal with these narcissists and the spells and the covenants and the things that we set with them, we're never going to be able to see the behavior and the things that they do. So let's take a term. So we're talking about flying monkeys. Flying monkeys. Let's talk about flying monkeys. What is the flying monkey? What is that? It ain't no real being. It ain't no real thing. You know what I mean? It's fictional. It's something that it's an illusion. Like, it's not real. There's no flying monkeys. But for these narcissists, they have a term that's called flying monkeys. Okay, so what is a flying monkey? A flying monkey is a monkey that was on a story called Wizard of Oz, where the Wicked Witch had actual flying monkeys to go out and do her dirty work. So that's what we relating these flying monkeys, that we use a term with narcissists. So we're using a demonic being that's sending out monkeys that fly to do their dirty work and then bring back the information or whatever they got to the Wicked Witch. That's what it is. So this is a term that doctors are using for a person, for people that has NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. So they're using a word like flying monkey. So a flying monkey would do the work for the narcissist that a narcissist can't do for themselves. So I did a video a while back, and it was called Scorch the Skin. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I say that we have to scorch our skin after we get out of a relationship with a narcissist, because people believe crap like this, where they want to say that this stuff is clinical, because the whole time the narcissist has been in a relationship with you, they've been participating in a smear campaign. So they've already been talking about you. They've already plugged everybody around you with false information about you, because they're ultimately going to discard you. So they don't have any type of respect for you or the relationship that you in with them. And they've been smearing you the whole time. So of course people think different things about you. Half the people that say, more than half, most of the people that say things about you are flying monkeys for the narcissist, and they don't even know the person that they saying something bad about. They don't know their story. They don't know the things that they've went through in this relationship, and they probably haven't even picked up the phone to call them to even see. So the flying monkeys are the people that will be leaving stuff on, they'll be stalking you. Like, instead of using a word like stalker, we're using words like Hoover, like, you know what I mean? But I'll get to that. But they're stalking our page. So the flying monkeys are on our pages, and they writing stuff, for the narcissist, or they just have narcissistic behavior themselves, and they operate for the narcissist. A flying monkey. Oh my God. Okay, cool. So why would doctors and clinical people use terms like this? Why would they do that? Because it's hidden in clear sight. They telling us what it is. We just have to be smart enough to know that it's spiritual and go ahead and take care of our spirit. If we're talking about things like hoovering, what is hoovering? Hoovering is the narcissist, after you discard the narcissist and they try to come back into your life. For whatever reason, they want to stalk your social media page. They want to stalk your home. They want to come by the job. They want to check in on you. They really just checking in on you. So when you're dealing with these hoovers, the hoover is only, that's them coming back to check in with the covenant that you made with them. They trying to see if you really gone. They trying to see, have you really got rid of the covenant that you set with them? So, and you set a covenant with them. If you gave them cards that you wrote, I love you always, or, blood sacrifices, eating different things with them. It's a lot of different ways you could have made covenants with them, having sex with them and don't know them. All these different things to make covenants with them. That's what the hoover is about. The hoover is coming back. So again, hoover is an outside entity. Anytime you're dealing with outside feelings, those are all demonic type things, because God and holy things come from the inside. So with the hoovering is them sucking you back into situations with them. That's not what we're gonna do. But just look at the terminology that I'm talking about. A hoover, and we're talking about flying monkeys. Really? On a diagnosis. So we're talking about, this is how we deal with people with NPD. So how can, okay, God, just tell me how. That's all I'm saying. If it's clinical, tell me how, besides some basic thing that is clinical. I don't get that. All right, when a narcissist get ready to start triangulating you with other supplies, this is another term that to me is, all of these terms to me are demonic terms, triangulation. So a person is going to triangulate me with another person, and that other person could be, a woman, a man, a friend, a family member, a coworker, anybody. But at the end of the day, they've triangulated you into a situation to make you uncomfortable, to make your soul not right. So therefore, that's going to create a situation to where the person is going to want to ask questions. And once you start asking questions, that's when the manipulation starts. So triangulation is a leeway to manipulation. So once you start asking the narcissist questions, you're immediately starting to get manipulated from the triangulation. They've already started whatever they're, however they're trying to hurt you or bring you pain. They've already started it. That's the thing that, once we pick up that you're in a relationship with a narcissist, it's too late. they've already started the smear campaign. They've already had their flying monkeys. They already ready to hoover you, because they've already been tapping your phone or following you or know your friends and stuff like that. They know that, or they know all the things that they need to know because you told them. So the clinical term narcissistic personality disorder is just that. It's a disorder, but it can't be treated. So on top of the smear campaign, the flying monkeys, the triangulation, the hoovering, all of these terms, on top of it, they can't be cured. How can you cure something with no soul, no empathy? All of the other personality disorders that I talked about earlier, all of those, those people have empathy. They at least have, empathy in there where they really at least, maybe they don't care about, the things that's going on, but they care about the person, So I just don't understand how people can say that this disorder is clinical when the doctors themselves have wording that's right there in front of our face that we should be listening to and understanding that this is just not something that's just regular. This is not a regular disorder. This is a disorder where the person is trying to destroy you. They're trying to destroy everything about you. So we have to see that. All this other stuff is just things that will keep you in a relationship with a narcissist. If you begin to think that the narcissist that you're in a relationship with is clinical, and you think that they're about to go to therapy and then they're gonna come home one day and be a different person, you are out of your mind. That's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So, and like I said, if there's 1 or 2 cases out there where it happened, cool, let me know. But I'm sure that a majority of people would never ever tell me that they narcissists went to therapy and came back and was a different person, and the therapy actually, helped them have a good, productive relationship. Like, you know what I mean? If that happened, I would love to hear it. It would be great. Like, you know what I mean? But I know that ain't gonna happen. So I ain't even gonna hold my breath for that. But at the end of the day, if you thinking this stuff is clinical, then you got a problem. And then once you've discarded the narcissist, and when they start coming back, that's all them just trying to reclaim the spiritual part of what you guys have. Period. And the way you got to get that is you have to break the covenants. You have to go no contact, as much as you can. I know it's difficult when you go no contact when you're dealing with kids and stuff like that. But you got to find an area in your life where you can get your spirit, your own personal spirit, up into a vibration to where you can see what's going on in front of you. Because if you don't never get out of that low vibration where these narcissists have you at, we're in that delusional state, in that gaslighting state. Like, look at all the words that I have to use if I talk clinical, and these are all the words that doctors use. So you can't tell me that if doctors wouldn't use these type of words, these type of word that need to be decoded if it was something that wasn't there, that they could not explain with these type of people. So guys, I'm gonna leave it at that. And I want to see, man, if y'all, leave me comments about this, because I'm really passionate about this, and I really think this is the area where I had to clean up even my own situations when I was moving on. So please leave comments. Let me know. Subscribe to all my pages. You can go find me on TikTok. Find me over here on YouTube. Please like and subscribe, y'all. And until next time, man, y'all stay narc free. And